Hey, what's going on, you guys? We're here to cover some of the upcoming updates that are coming into the week here for patch 8.1. Definitely a lot of information getting circulated, so I just wanted to bring this to you guys in a short and concise manner and go through some of the big ones, especially new teams and characters now getting confirmed and potentially what could be speculated as coming to the game. So as always, guys, if you do appreciate this content and like to follow along, please give the channel a like and a sub for future videos just like this. Let's get right to it. First and foremost, with Wolverine actually getting transitioned out into the new Mercs for Money team, Wolverine getting moved out to and confirmed to be part of Alpha Flight. Apologies there. X-23 is actually taking the place of Wolverine as part of the Weapon X Tag Edition. So there is a sizable rework coming to X-23. In addition to that, we saw this before as well when she already previously got some updates, but now this basically confirms why there's some changes happening to her, because it was interesting that, you know, obviously there were some mutant characters getting updated, but we weren't really sure why or which team they're a part of, and now it's pretty definitive with Wolverine transitioning and being part of that Alpha Flight team member. I also want to point out, guys, there is a new splash art here featuring the Shuri Black Panther. So it's more than likely that this is going to indicate a Wakandan's rework coming into the game. And I really love the fact that they finally bring this character in because, you know, especially when the movie released, we always speculate when these new characters are getting added into the game. But this was definitely a missed opportunity. So it's great that they're revisiting this. And now we are going to get this amazing chance here to actually get this character in the future, especially with her splash art in. I am very, very curious what you guys think. Which characters are going to get reworked. Hopefully the OG Black Panther is going to get more love than he already has gotten in the past, because they continue to be still relevant in the game. Not a top 5 team in the game by any means, but they still have value if you built them up, and it's great that this rework is going to make them relevant once again, especially what we saw with Crucible and the value they do have in War as well. I also want to talk about Alpha Flight, guys. So this is the new team that's coming into the patch. This is the main featured one. I suspect it's probably going to be some of these characters the majority of the month of June is likely when they'll get released, or at least starting to get released. But we know with Wolverine and Sunfire, you know, characters already being in the game, they're going to get the reworks as needed. And then Guardian, Sasquatch were the two characters that we voted for successfully, being the most popular. And then finally, North Star is getting added as part of this mix. So this 5-piece team is going to be known as the Alpha Flight, and it's really cool because of the dual value that you're going to be getting in both War and Raids. It's definitely something we haven't seen with any new team coming into the game. And remember, they're also required for the Spotlight Raids as well. So this is a really, really big potential here for them to be a must-have team and must-build. But just going down from left to right, guys, in case you're interested in the materials needed in addition to the unique materials. Wolverine being mutant adamantium. We got Sunfire here being mutant astral energy. Again, astral energy also getting shared with some other notable characters such as Apocalypse. We have gravitonium here and tech for Guardian, so that's definitely less common. I really like that combination just because there seems to be an abundance, more resources there for tech characters in the game, but gravitonium is not really used at all, so that's great to see. We have bio, which is actually pretty common in the game, in addition to gamma. So definitely Sasquatch is going to be a harder one to build up just because of the fact that he shares a lot of bio traits with other notable characters and meta characters in addition to that gamma, and we already need quite a bit bringing the gamma team up to unlock and fully upgrade Apocalypse to the big version, of course. And then finally, we have North Star here being a mutant character and also using Luminium, which is the same material actually as Black Cat as well. So just something to be mindful of. There's definitely some resource constraints here going forward into the game as these characters come. But good news is we got time to build up. And again, they're in the data mine files. They've been confirmed, but we don't actually know what the release cycle is going to be. Let's wait and see when the June calendar is going to be up, and then we can start speculating in terms of, you know, what the names of some events are going to be tied back to. The same thing we did with the month of May when we got the M is for Mercs preview there. And finally, guys, I just want to leave you with this takeaway message, because this has been a very pervasive trend in the last few months, and I just want to remind you guys that essentially no team is unskippable. Now, if you're going to be building up any one of these teams that I've mentioned in addition to the past recent teams, it does seem like there's a lot of value to be had. Not really teams are skippable anymore, and I think that's also been confirmed by Scopely. In addition to that, that's their incentive, right? Like they don't make a team so that it can be skipped. The last time that we really were able to fully skip a team was probably Infestation. Other than that, it's been like just back to back to back to back. So, you know, just as a refresh, Out of Time first came out February, and again, they're part of the Arena War meta, more specifically Black Knight, being that direct counter Super Scroll. They were also needed for Sword Satellite, going through it if you wanted to push higher, especially Black Knight. And then finally, Logan Trials is also needing this team. So at the end of the day, like, you're going to be getting value when you build up these teams. We saw with Cabal recently how much value they had with Escape from Kiln, the final 3 stages actually requiring them, the recent Pocket Dimensions. Thankfully, they reworked that, so it was only geared to 14 and 15. And then we know that it's going to be part of the Old Man Logan Trials as well. Spire Society, a bit newer, but they are also basically required for Escape from Kiln with some select said members. I add an apostrophe here to the Old Man Logan Trials because of the fact that they're not technically needed, but I think in the deeper stages, with them being hero skill, they're going to be a nice luxury to have if you guys already have them. And we know they're required for the new Spotlight raids coming into the game pretty soon here, I believe. So there's going to be another avenue for us to generate Crimson Gear, something to be very, very mindful of there. We also have Alpha Flight being confirmed as part of Spotlight, but other than that, with the exception of them being a War and Raid team, we don't really know where else they're going to be adding. Possibly and likely another legendary character unlocked in the future, or part of something more, maybe even the opportunity here for new game modes. Who knows? And then finally, Mercs for Money is a war team, but we still don't know what other values they're going to be having, right? Like, obviously, everyone's going to be pouring resources into Old Man Logan, but I'm sure that the developers have a good reason for keeping this Mercs for Money team to be required for some sort of event in the future. It just seems to be the trend that's unfolding before our eyes here. So, guys, unfortunately, no team is skippable. It seems like, especially like the last 3-4 months, every team that's come about anyways has been needed for something, which is great because if you guys are spending money in the game, it's going to be valuable here in terms of you having a use case for it. I think they're trying to make better use of that as well for folks that are spending. But again, let's remember that they have improved the farmability of these characters and so forth. And newer characters and teams have been farmable when they have been released coming into the game, right? So if you just take your time as well, these characters get added into the Strike Pass and Battle Pass. So eventually we all will get access to these characters anyways. I know I personally have been in the way of Power Core saving, in addition to just crushing the events free to play. And again, guys, if you want to follow along and take a look at some event guides that guide you along through these events, I always make these updates every week. So hopefully this helps you guys out in preparing. This is going to be a big patch week, but awesome confirmations of these characters. I'm super pumped for what Shuri's going to look like. I can't wait to see what her kit's going to be, especially what Wakandans are going to get reworked. Stay tuned. Thank you for your time as always, guys. Let me know anything in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.